everyone, and welcome back to the channel, Say What's Real TV. This review is for American Gigolo, Season 1, Episode 4, Nothing is Real But the Girl. We open up the episode with a flashback. The year is 2006. They are blasting that chingy right there. Through the speakers. It's sounding good. Everybody jamming. We're at Olga's having a party. A farewell party, I guess, for Julian. We see Julian. He's with Lorenzo. They're getting high, having a good time, laughing and chopping it up. Olga goes and pulls Julian to the side. She lets him know that when Michelle leaves him and he's lost and have nowhere else to go, that he can always come back home. So then we see crazy-ass Isabel. She's up on a balcony looking down at Julian, looking stank as hell in that little-ass dress, and telling Julian to come up to where she is. So when Julian gets up to where Isabel is, they're drinking champagne and toasting, and she's like, "To your new life." Julian lets her know it's not goodbye. He'll still be around. So Isabel says, "Well, I hope she loves you as much as I do." So in this same flashback, as Julian is leaving Olga's place, he gets this call from Michelle. They're happy. She's telling him she's in the meeting spot where they're supposed to be meeting up. Apparently, she has walked out on Stratton. She hadn't said anything because he wasn't home when she left. I guess she just packed up some shit and just hauled ass and didn't say a word to anybody. She went straight to the meeting spot where she's going to meet Julian for them to run off to be together, I guess. So Julian tells her that he has one last job to do. One last gigolo run to make. And as we know, his one last job was Janet Holmes, the lady found murdered in the hotel room with him. So now we're in present day, which I guess is now 2021 because Julian is out of jail. So from last week, we saw Julian get dressed up, get all swagged out or whatever to go meet Isabel and Lorenzo in the club. So now they meet up. So they're sitting down talking. Lorenzo is talking about how the new age kids, they don't date and romance and seduce the way that they used to back in the day. Isabel is over there trying to convince Julian that her clients would love him because he makes women feel oh so good. And there's a woman over there at the bar that's been staring at him for the longest. She can go see, they're wagering. Lorenzo and Isabel decide they want to bet. These two always playing some kind of little game. So they want to wager a bet of how much money they can get off of Julian. They're like $2,000. Oh, I can probably get more than that. She goes over there to talk to the lady. We don't know. We don't hear the conversation. Isabel comes back with the lady's card and says the lady is willing to pay Julian $5,000 if he leaves with her. So Isabel also says the lady says she has an event and she will pay him $7,000 for the entire evening and $10,000 if he stays with her overnight. So then Lorenzo is like, $10,000? Come on, man. I'm like, hold up. Y'all two are a little too eager. Something is mighty fishy with this lady. I don't know what the hell it is, but they too eager for him to go. Lorenzo, why you won't take your ass over there and be with her for the $10,000? Julian keeps saying he don't know, he don't really want to do it, but they keep just, especially Lorenzo, like $10,000, man. Come on. Like, why? Come on now. What is up with that? So Julian ended up doing what the hell I would have did. Julian got his ass up and said, "Thanks for getting me out the house," and hauled ass. So Julian leaves Lorenzo and Isabel and drives over to Michelle's house, and he is drunker than Cooter Brown, sitting outside that lady's house. I mean, that just kills me. As if, I know they got to have some kind of cameras. We need answers as to what does Stratton know about Julian and Michelle, because we're 4 episodes in and we haven't heard a word about what Stratton knows about this past relationship. He has to know something. Julian is bold. He don't give a damn. He outside their house every chance he get. Drunk as hell, sober, he don't give a damn. Now, I thought that Julian is having these flashbacks the whole time, but we're not going to discuss every flashback because the majority of them are about Michelle. We already know you are in love with Michelle, Julian, so every week we do not have to see flashbacks of you and Michelle. We get it. We get it. You are in love. We understand that. So we need flashbacks that are gonna help us solve these goddamn murders. We don't need all the lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy flashbacks. We get that. Enough is enough of that now. So this flashback, let's keep in mind Julian is drunk. He's left Michelle's house, outside of her house, present day here. So now he's walking the streets, I guess over where he lives, because now all of a sudden we get Rufus 2.0. Now, where the dog been at in the last 2 episodes? We know his little owner came and got him, but we ain't seen Rufus 2.0. But now all of a sudden, Julian drunk as hell, and now here he is at his kneecap. I'm like, what? Where did he come from? So Julian and the dog, they're in the street, they're bonding, they're playing. Julian's, just willfully playing with the dog, kissing the dog, hugging the dog. Julian is walking, he's drunk. Next thing you know, we hear this yelp and a loud thump, and someone has hit Rufus 2.0 and kept going. And he is badly hurt, guys. He's badly hurt. Julian runs over to him and picks him up to try to carry him to safety to go get some help. So we go over to Michelle's. She is laying in Colin's bed, reminiscing about everything flashing through her head from Colin to the night that she was supposed to meet Julian, about the picture, about the detective coming to her, talking to her about the picture, about Julian, period, of course. It's always her and Julian in the flashback. So, yeah, she's just laying in the bed, the usual flashback reminisce montage. So Michelle finally musters up some energy and gets out of Colin's bed, hair all thrown everywhere. She goes downstairs and Mr. Clean is down there on the phone. So she says, is Richard here? Trying to make sure that he was gone. He tells her he just left. So she says, listen, when I went to go and clean out the hotel and rid everything of Colin's stuff, I forgot and left the picture that Colin had in his possession of me and John. I know you told me to clear out everything. So I'm like, wait a minute. So Mr. Clean knows about John, and they had something going on to where he had to clean some shit up for Michelle and John before. So that's quite interesting. We need answers. We need more of that. So she told him something about the detective, asked her about the picture, and he immediately walks off from her. And she's like, where are you going? And he said, to clean up your mess. Y'all, look how drunk Julian is. He's sitting all up in the vet office trying to sleep the shit off. So the lady comes up to him to tell him the condition of the dog, and she tells him that the injuries are quite extensive and it may be best to maybe put the dog down. Julian says that's not his decision to make because he's not the owner. So Julian goes to look for the girl that says she's the owner of Rufus 2.0. He finds her and brings her back to the vet office so she can, I guess, be with the dog as long as she could, possibly, I guess. Julian is distraught. The girl is distraught. We just feel bad for the dog. He just looks so helpless and just so sad. Just looking at that. It's really a sad scene. So Detective Sunday goes to see Isabel. She goes in. She loves the house. It's beautiful. She loves the fruit salad water. It's amazing. They sit down. She asks her questions about Olga's death. Does she have any knowledge of who might want to kill Olga? Isabel made it seem like everybody named Mammy wanted to kill Olga. She asked her about the business. She inherited the business. Is she running it the same? Isabel told her, no, I'm a boss, bitch. I have a legit business going on here. Basically, they weren't getting anywhere. It was just a little banter back and forth. Nothing really meaningful. So Detective Sunday gives her her card and she sees her way out of the house. So Isabel sits there looking at the card and it's as if you see her wheels turning, like she's putting some plans in motion. So we head over to Julian's. We see him on the bed stressing, chain smoking, I guess worried about the dog. He pulls out the card from last night of the lady that was at the bar that Isabel hooked them up with. He calls the number on the card. She answers, and he tells her who he is. So I guess Julian needs some money, so he's going to try and get them $7 grand. So Detective Sunday is in her office, and I guess it's her captain comes in, and they're looking at her board of potential suspects and victims, and she says she can't see anything, and he's pointing a finger straight to Julian, and she tells him thanks for nothing. We're getting a lot of quick scenes with different people, but we're not getting any answers. We're just getting a lot of babbling going on. This episode is all over the place for no apparent reason. So we go over to Michelle's again. She's outside by their pool or wherever the hell she is. Stratton comes out there and asks her what the hell going on out here. Hell, she just sitting outside by the pool. What do you mean? Stupid. Anyway, so Michelle says she doesn't know what she was thinking. She should have just called the police. Stratton was like, no, you should not have. And these two go back and forth because she said Colin didn't have anything to do with the murder. Richard is saying, how do you know that? He's just like anybody else. He's a regular human. He could be capable of anything, which is true, but we know he didn't do it. So those two are going back and forth. Like, she's saying Colin didn't do it. He didn't say Colin did it. He's just saying it's a possibility that he could have done it, and then he walks off. So then we have Detective Sunday. She takes it upon herself now. She's going to drive over to the trailer park to see Julian's mom. She gets there, she gets out the car, and of course the molesting neighbor is over there smoking her cigarette where she always is. Detective Sunday gets to knocking. Neighbor says she won't answer. No matter how long you knock, she won't answer. Detective Sunday says, who asked you? As soon as Detective Sunday says she's with the LAPD, you hear the back door opening and shut, and I guess the mom done bolted out the back door, hauling ass somewhere in the fields. Detective Sunday know goddamn well she tried it by trying to pretend she was getting ready to chase that lady. She get to running, and baby, she had to stop. She was out of breath real quick. It was too funny. We see Julian. He's getting prepared, getting dressed, ready for his Gigolo date with Anne. He had to go get that money. So Julian meets up with Anne down by the bar. And Anne is acting like some little hardcore dude. They're going, I guess she's supposed to be going to her high school reunion. She wants Julian to go with her and pretend to be some dermatologist from New York. And she tells him if they ask that we met on her dating app that she created. So Detective Sunday decides she's going to go sit in her hot-ass car and wait for John's mom to come back in the house. She looks at her weather app on her phone, and it's like 99 degrees in the car. Like, do you have your air on in the car? Are you just sitting in the car with no air running? That's crazy. So Julian's crazy-ass mama comes from the field with a jacket over her head. Girl, as hot as it is outside. She comes damn near about to pass out, trying to get back in the house, stumbling, just dehydrated, just about to pass out. Detective Sunday sees her, jumps out the car to basically, I guess, go and save her. She falls out or whatever. Detective picks her up and takes her in the house and puts her in the tub, I guess, so she can cool off. So while Julian's mom is in the tub, Detective Sunday decided she's gonna pull her phone out and walk around the house taking pictures. So she's all over the house, snapping a little quick picture here, quick picture there. Then she goes into Julian's room. First, she sees another room. We know that his mom is a hoarder. But then I guess she finds Julian's room, and his room is actually clean. So Michelle is sitting in her car taking her usual, I guess, anxiety pills. She gets a phone call. It's Mr. Clean / Panish, because that's what Michelle called him, Panish. But I don't like Panish, so we're going to stick with Mr. Clean. So he tells her that he has found a way that he can clear Colin's name. Michelle is interested. He tells her that he's going to set up an interview with the detectives that are on Elizabeth's case. And she is to explain the photo and identify Julian. So Mr. Clean wants Michelle to tell the police that Julian was obsessed with her, which he still is, and that he saved the photo after all these years because of the obsession, and that's how it ended up in the room when he was in the room with Elizabeth and potentially killed her. So Mr. Clean is just basically trying to frame Julian for Elizabeth's murder. Michelle is kind of hesitant about it and like she's not really feeling that at all. He also tells her to tell the detectives that that Michelle heard how violent he was, and when she heard about the murder, the first thing that came to her mind was, oh, that could have been me. Once again, because I guess he was so quote unquote obsessed with her that it could have been her in that room instead of Elizabeth. So Mr. Clean says, I have kept your secrets for years. Excuse me, Mr. Clean, but can you tell us the secrets, please? Because we're waiting. So he says, I have done this to protect you and to protect Richard. So we need to do this and get it done if we're going to protect Colin. He also tells her that Colin could have called 911, but he didn't. And if the police catch Colin first, they are going to arrest him for murder. So of course he's going to throw that in there to get Michelle feeling a little guilt trip thing going on, because of course, who's she going to save? Is she going to save her son, or is she going to save her son's father? Julian over here with this little gigolo date, and they made it to the high school or whatever reunion she had, and she's in the car hyperventilating and panicking, and Julian looking at her like, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? She acting crazy. So he tell her, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And she's like, still panicking. And then she basically says, let's just get out of here. And Julian like, well, hell, let's go. So we see Detective Sunday talking to Julian's mom. And she's over there to apologize. She wanted to apologize to her and let her know that she was so sorry that she had to go through all of that. And it was her fault that her son was put in jail and falsely accused. And she just is deeply sorry by that. She told her she also wanted to know, how was John before he even went to jail? I think Detective Sunday is carrying a lot of guilt behind putting him in jail the way she did. So she's just trying to learn more about Julian. It's weird, but it is what it is. So the mom, in them talking, she finds out that the mother, Julian's mother, sold him to Olga when he was just 15 years old. Child, we get over here to Julian and his little gigolo date. First, they start off, taking their little drugs, getting themselves together, getting right. They dancing and, enjoying themselves on the dance floor. So she asked Julian, would he be willing to do whatever it is she wanted him to do? And he's like, All you gotta do is ask. I said, ooh. Next thing you know, child, they in a little dirty bathroom, and Julian got his face all the way up in the place. You hear me? Julian was working that. At least he pulled the condom out, but Julian was getting down. He was putting it in. All right, so we get this random scene with Detective Sunday. She's in the car. She makes a call to someone named Rachel. I'm guessing that Rachel was an ex-girlfriend. Rachel was expecting her call. She says she misses him, talking about her baby brother. We learn now his name is Andrew. She says that it's been 15 years since his death, but she still misses him, and it doesn't get any easier. So this is like the third time that her brother or the loss or the death of the brother has been mentioned. So I guess they're trying to introduce us maybe what happened to the brother, or I don't know if it's linked to anything. Maybe it's linked to Julian, something. I don't know. We've now heard about the brother like 3 times. So I'm thinking something has to be coming up out of this. So then she tells Rachel that she misses her as well. And we hearing crickets and all of that. I mean, I guess they had their thing going on, and Detective Sunday was set in her ways and didn't want to change, and it is what it is, and I guess it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and Rachel moved on to something else. So then we get this damn scene where Detective Sunday is now back in the gym where she was a couple of weeks ago. She's on a treadmill. She gets off, goes to the receptionist desk, and all of a sudden, her and the receptionist that she was arguing with about the damn Wi-Fi password, now they all acting like they getting ready to hook up. This show is weird. That was really weird and random. So Julian then gave Annie that good in the little dirty bathroom. Now she over here driving like a bat out of hell, drinking and driving. She swerving in and out of traffic, about to kill Julian. Julian over there looking like he about to piss in his pants. He trying to hold on, playing a damn front seat driver. It's probably a hole over there in the damn floor where he got his foot. And have this whole meltdown after nearly driving her and Julian off a cliff. They get out the car and she's so drunk. She trying to get Julian to touch all on her. Julian like, no, hold up. Let's talk. Like, what is wrong? Are you okay? I realize Julian is really too nice. He never really goes off on anybody. He is so nice. That's a shame. But anyway, this lady ended up having this whole meltdown, and she just hollers out, I killed someone. So Anne sits down and she tells Julian that back when she was in high school, she dated a guy named Tom. She convinced Tom to go to this party with her. I guess she got pissy drunk, just like she is right now. And she ended up wrapping her car around a tree in a car accident, and Tom died as a result of that. Her parents got the best lawyers for her, and it kind of got swept under the rug and just went away, and she was never actually punished for the accident. And I guess Anne has been feeling guilty about that all these years. And so Julian asks, is that why you wanted to go to the high school reunion? I guess she wants to feel like she wants to be punished. She wants someone to acknowledge the fact that she did something wrong and make her face, responsibility for it, but no one ever has. And Julian told her he thought that she was brave to even try to go across the country to even face those people that know what happened, and try to put her at ease to the situation that happened back when they were in high school. So then we see Michelle. She's sitting outside of the police station in her car. Her phone is buzzing. They pan inside. We see that it's Mr. Clean calling Michelle, and he leaves a message and says on the voicemail, because she doesn't answer, she looking at the phone in her car, but she doesn't pick up. He tells her, I'm waiting on you at the precinct and I'm wondering where you are. He's getting aggravated as hell with Michelle. Michelle outside playing in her head what he told her to say. And I guess she's having second thoughts. So Anne and Julian, they make it back to the high school reunion. They're standing outside. Anne asks Julian some questions like, what is your deal? What is your life about? What happened to you? Julian basically shuts her down and was like, I'm here for you. I'm not here to talk about me. My problems are mine alone. I'm not here to share my life history with you. You know, whatever you want me to do to please you is what I'm here for. That's what you paying me for. And she was like, well, can I pay you to be honest then? Hell. She ends up giving Julian his envelope with his money in it, and she lets him know that she's going to go inside the reunion by herself because she doesn't want anyone to think that she's ever loved anybody after Tom, because she never has. And, you know, Julian don't give a damn. He got his bread. He good. She tell him she got this, so Julian like, you got it. My boy Julian is so nice. He is really a nice guy. Julian takes, I guess, some of the money that he made gigoloing with Ann all night. He goes back to the vets where Rufus 2.0 is, and the little girl that owns him. He gives the vet some money, and then he also puts money in the girl's pocket as she lay there sleeping, waiting on news about the dog. We see Mr. Clean still calling Michelle back to back to back, blowing up her phone. She's not answering. I guess Mr. Clean said, fuck all that. He gets up, he goes in there and sits with the detectives and say, there's been a change of plans. My client can't make it, and she has authorized me to tell you guys everything you need to know. So this man getting ready to put some dirt on Julian's name for no reason. So Julian is walking home after this long day he has had. Of course, we get a flashback, and it's with Michelle. But this time he's actually in jail, and Michelle comes to see him, and she's telling him how she's going to tell Richard everything. And Julian is like, why would you do that? She's like, oh, I can get the best experts and specialists and blah, blah, blah to prove your innocence because you didn't do it. And Julian whispering. I don't know why he always whispering. Julian whispering. I got to turn the goddamn closed caption on for his ass because he always damn whispering. And another thing, Michelle acting in this scene, those little crocodile tears. I'm like, girl, Michelle, where were the tears, girl? I didn't see one tear. But anyway, back to the story. Julian basically told Michelle, haul ass and don't come back. Just forget about me. So Julian bends the corner. As he's walking, he's coming up to his apartment, and we see Michelle sitting there waiting for him to get there. Unbelievable. Now she done got this man in trouble again. Messing around with Mr. Clean. Girl. Anyway, that ends this episode. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Hopefully Colin can get out of that damn hotel closet shower he was stuck in last week. Because his mammy ain't thinking about him. She over there worrying about it, his daddy. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Peace.